Hello all, welcome to Mobile App Development course session 1. So in this session we are going to see what is mobile app development, the software that we use to develop these mobile apps, and later we will also build a simple app to help a dumb person which acts like a speech aid. So let us see what is mobile app development. Mobile app development is a process of developing a software for our mobile. So for example, you'll be using YouTube, Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, so many, right? So we'll be using so many different mobile apps in our day-to-day life. And why we have to develop mobile apps? So we let us talk about the device itself. A device, the mobile that we are using, it is like bundle of so many things. It has a lot of sensors. It has a wide display. It can communicate with someone else. So having all these things, in one device, this device is very special, and we can use this device in multiple different ways. So for that reason, mobile app development is like very important skill that we have to build. So whenever we have some creative ideas, we'll be able to build our creative ideas based on our creative ideas. We can build this software and we can just use it in our day-to-day life, which is going to make our work very easy. For example, we don't know how many steps we walk, so for that people developed a app called as step counter. So and we don't know what is our heart rate. For that people invented a gadget called a smartwatch, and they connected with the mobile, and now we are able to see what is our heart rate, how much what is the SpO2 level, right? So many different things. So mobile app development is like endless. We can just do endless creativity using this mobile app development. And let us see which is the software which is going to help us to create these mobile app development. Here we go. Let us start building our app. So open one of the browsers and type like this: app inventor, and immediately you find a first link called as MIT App Inventor. Click on that, and this is the home page for your MIT App Inventor. And talking about MIT App Inventor, this is powered by Google, and MIT University has developed this particular software for all the beginners in mobile app development. So let us go create an app now. So click on this create apps, and here is how it is showing us, right? So this is for the user who has already signed in. But if you have not signed into this particular app inventor website, then you're going to see something like this. So let us do it in incognito mode and show you how it will happen. So if you are a new user, then it will ask you to sign in with your email ID. So please give your email ID and password, and then it will ask you for one of the agreements to sign in. So please click on I agree the terms and conditions, and then just get into the app development process. So let us see how to develop an app. So this is the dashboard that will show you whenever you enter this mobile app inventor website after you sign in. And here you have a start button, like start new project button. But for me, I have few apps that I've already developed. For that reason it is showing me. But for you guys, you'll not be having any project, since you people are the beginners and you'll be developing the app in this particular website for the first time. So you don't have any project, so don't worry about it. So please go click on this start new project. So whenever we start new project, we have to give our project name. So our project name for today's project name is talk to me. So what is this talk to me? As I told you, so we are going to develop an app for a dumb person who cannot talk. So we are using our mobile phone, so mobile phone has speakers, right? So we can make use of that speaker, and whenever we type something on our text box in our mobile phone, and whenever we click button like a talk button or say it button, so whatever there is in the text box, it will be spoken by the mobile. So that way a dumb person can also speak to another person and make him understand what is his feeling and what he wants, right? So this is very beautiful, right? So we are going to build such app now. So I'm naming this app talk to me, and you can see me whenever I'm typing this project name, I'm using underscore instead of space, right? And even though it shows wrong, like it's a grammatical error, don't worry about it, because if you don't give this underscore and if you start giving space, the project name will not be considered, okay? So it will throw you an error. So for that reason, so please try to write using underscores. And once you create this project, so here you go, this is the screen that you're going to get. So what is there in the screen? Let us start understanding one by one, okay? So here this is the toolbar where projects, you can just import project, save the project, then export the project, or delete the key stores. So let us explore these things in our next future sessions, but let me introduce to your connect. So which is very important, because this is way after you develop an app, you will try to test your app, right? So this is the place where you can test your app. So once the app is tested, so you can build the APK and start installing this app in your mobile. So for that reason build will be used, and there are some different settings, then some help. Now if you want any help, then you can just go here and get some, and then you can have some different toolbars like this, and you can explore it. So this is the other toolbar where we can add screens. We can see in which screen we are. After developing an app, we can publish to the gallery. So many things like this. And coming to this palettes, right? So you can see different columns, right, over here. So these different columns, let us start exploring it. The first column is palette. So in this palette, you have different components. Any mobile app that you take, right, you can see so many buttons and different text boxes, different input methods, scrolling feature, page navigation feature, a lot of them, right? So whenever you're seeing that, those things are called as components. So here you can see the viewer screen where you have a dummy phone where you can develop this particular screen, and then later you can code it. So I'll just tell you about that. But here when we see this user interface, in the user interface we have buttons, checkboxes, date picker, image, a lot of them like that, and you also have some different features like layouting, like you can just layout your app, like how it should look. So is it vertical or is it horizontal? So all these features is available, and in the media you will be able to access some of the sensors like camera sensor, or you can also start recording the video. There is a thing called as image picker, sound and player, sound recorder. So you can start accessing all of these features using this media. And then there is something called as drawings and animation, where you can put some canvas, write something on it, and we can use this as a painting app, a lot of the other features like this. And we have maps, sensors. So these are the sensors which I was talking about. So our mobile have a lot of different sensors, right? So these are the different sensors that we can make use of whenever we are developing an app. So then social, then storage, connectivity. Then we can also connect our Lego Mindstorms. If you have any, we can also connect our Lego Mindstorms to our mobile app. So then there is some experimental features and extensions. So these are some of the advanced concepts which we will touch in our next few sessions, in our next future sessions. So let us start exploring what is there in user interface. And how to develop an app now? So app development has two different stages. One is a designing part, so where you will design your app, that is nothing but your front end. In programming terms it is called as front end. And after you develop the front end, you will code that front end, like what that button should do, what is the feature of it, and all those stuff. So let us start exploring about it now. So as per our app, so we have to take text box, okay, because a dumb person who is going to type, so he will type in the text box only. So for that reason we need to have a text box, and after he type a message we need to have a button. So this button will help him to speak. So now I'm just, can you see here what happened now immediately? So this screen, before I just dragged and dropped this text box and button one, there were no components here, only screen one was available. But when I just dragged and dropped my component over here on my mobile screen, I could able to see two different components, that is text box one and button one. So these are the components area where whatever you drag and drop on your screen, that will get updated here. And now say for example I just drag my component and I'll leave here, but it will not appear on my screen. That is because I have to always drag and drop my component to the screen itself, and you have to see this blue color line. You will be able to observe this, I guess, right? So you should always drag to the screen and then you drop it. In case you have dragged and dropped a different component, so then you can just select that particular component and you can also delete it like this. So please make sure whenever you drag and drop a component, you drag and drop it on the screen, not here in this viewer area, but right in the white area you have to drop it. So now after dragging and dropping these two components, we require one more component. That one more component, what is that? As I told you, it has to convert that text to speech. So this component is also available in our software. So it is in the media. So please go, so you will be in user interface. So you have to go to media. In case if your screen is small, so you have to scroll down a little and then click on media, right? So if you just click on media, you can see text to speech like this. So drag and drop that now. So you can see that component is not physically visible, but it is visible as a non-visible component. It is like a support. It's like a support for your app, which is not actually visible, but you know it. Like how you cannot showcase your language that as one of the property, but internally you know you can speak. But if someone asks, show me your language, like show me your English language, that you know, you cannot do that, right? So you can speak. So that is like a hidden skill that you have. The same way we are just trying to give that hidden skill for our app. So that is like, you know, showcasing as non-visible component over here as a text to speech component. So once we do all these things, you know, we can just move to the next column, that is called as properties. And in the properties you can see each of these components has different properties, like how we have different properties for different organs in our body. The same way different components has different properties. For example, I want to change the text for this button one, like it is like this, text for button one. I want to change this to talk or say it. So how will I able to change it? So in the properties, if you can see, there are a lot of different things like background color, font bold, font italic, font size, lot of them, right? Height, width, image. You can also put image on your button. And then at last we have something called as text, right? I am just now editing this text to talk, and immediately you can see that is getting updated here, talk. If I just put say it, and that is also getting updated here. So this way I'll be able to edit the text on the button. So this is one of the important property that we have to know. Okay, so once we edit this text, we'll go to screen 1, and you can see the screen is like white color, which is not so colorful, right? So let us make it a little more colorful. So if you go to screen 1, so we can just put the background colors for the screen going to screen 1 component only, right? For that reason, I'm clicking on the screen 1. Now I can see this background color as one of the properties. And before that background color, I want all these components to be like center aligned. Okay, horizontally I'll make this center align horizontal. You can see this again. So I'm clicking on align horizontal and clicking on the center button. See what happened to all your components. Every other components that you have on your screen, it got center aligned horizontally, and I want to bring this component to the middle of the screen. So how will I do that? So I can just align vertically to center. So I can bring this component vertically to center. So that way I'll be able to get my components to the middle of the screen, both in horizontal way and in vertical way. After getting all of the components here, I'm changing the background color. So you can choose your favorite color, like some of the colors are there here, you can choose among them. If you don't find your favorite color here, so you can also go to custom colors and you can pick one of your favorite colors from the custom color block. So I have just chosen some light orange like this and clicking on done. See, I could able to choose my color on my own, right? Or if you can choose from this list also, that is also fine. So this is a very bright orange, right? So I'll leave it at this end. So you can go ahead and choose your own colors at this stage. Okay, so once you complete this, we'll go to the next part of the process, that is called as blocks. So we have completed all the designing part of our app. So let's go to the blocks and start coding our app. So let us go back to the logic and think back again, what is the code or what is the app is all about. We are trying to help a dumb person to speak. So in this case, dumb person is going to enter his message in the text box that is here. Okay, he's going to enter his text over here, and after he enters the text, he is going to click button called as say it. So once he clicked this button, the message has to be spoken. So whenever the button is clicked, there should be some component that should help to speak this message, which is there in the text box. Just keep this in mind, and accordingly we are going to code. So how to code? You can see there are a lot of different blocks, right? So there is a blocks area and a viewer area where you can start putting your code here. In the blocks area, you have built-in blocks, you have screen 1 blocks. So built-in blocks will always remain the same for all the projects, so it is not going to change. But screen 1 blocks will always change. So because you have picked only 3 components, so it is only showing 3 components here. If you have picked more components in your designer part, then you will get more components in your screen 1. Rather, you can also think like this: whatever the components available in the components section, the same blocks will be available here for you guys. Okay, so now let us start coding this. So now, as per our discussion, click on button 1. So you see when button 1 click do, what it should do. So as I told you, it should take some help from some component to convert that text to speech, and we have that component already. So I'm directly going to that component and taking the help. So I'm just calling text to speech component. I'm putting this component over here. Again, I'm just, after taking this component, like call text to speech component dot speak message, have to speak the message. What is the message that I want to speak? It is not the pre-built message. I want to speak the message what the user has given, means what is the dumb person has given me. So where he is giving? He is giving in the text box. So I have to go to the text box, and in the text box which block to pick. So see which block will solve this puzzle. I hope this block will solve this puzzle, right? Yes, this block will solve this puzzle, and this block is called as getter block, and this block is called as setter block. Okay, so I'm just getting one of the getter blocks which will give an input for this particular call text to speech block. And what is the input that it should give? It should give the text of that particular text box. I don't want any other property. I don't want its background color, what is its width, or what is its height. I don't want any of these things. But I want what is inside the text box. That is nothing but the text of the text box, right? So at that stage, I'll be able to speak the message. So now I can just click on this background color, click on this text. Now what is the thing that I'm going to get is I'm going to get the text of this text box 1, and I can input this to the speak message of this text to speech. So this text to speech block will convert the text to speech, and when I click the button. So this is how it will happen, and that's all our code is. Hope you got it, right? So now when we do this texting, or like when we do this coding part, how do we test it? So we completed our app, right? How to test it? So to test it, we have to install one of the app for our mobile. Okay, let us see how to install that. So you have to install an app called as MIT AI2 Companion. So this is the app that you have to install it on your Android mobile. Okay, so please note this. You need to have Android mobile or iOS, like, or iPhone. Okay, you need to have either one of them, and go to the App Store or Play Store respectively. And if you are an Android user, you have to install MIT AI2 Companion. But if you are a iOS user, right, if you are an iPhone user, then you have to install MIT App Inventor as one of the app in your mobile. So this app will look something like this. So it will have connect with code and scan with QR code. This is how the app will look like. So once you install this app on your devices, so please come back to your screen, means you have to come to your software, click on connect, and click on AI Companion, and this will show the code, right? So now what you have to do, you have to go to your app, click on scan QR code from your mobile, and whenever you scan the QR code of this particular app, so immediately the app will start showing to you. So let me show that now. If you scan the QR code, the app bar will progress like this, and immediately you can see the app on your phone.
Hello all. Hello all. Thank you.
So like this you can test your app. Thank you, and we'll meet in the next session with some other different app. We'll learn more. Okay, bye, take care.